run into the doctors because you soon gonna go to the cremator right after that. What can you do? Do you not know that you are comprised of every element on this planet and in the cosmos? You gonna listen to somebody who's Johnny come late to the human family tell you about you, and you have no rebuttal? What knowledge you speaking of? What power you standing on? The power comes from the truth. And you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. The lie won't bind you, based on that analogy. So if you're living lies, you're bound in a perpetual state of hell based on the lies. The truth will set you free. When I go to any rap studio, I don't care who's who, Jay-Z, my behind. I don't care. I'm going inside this Jim Jones, I heard all about it. Did you not know God is the original man? That's how I'm going in there. That's how I'm going. Yes, I said cool. Have you ever heard that the original man is God? That's what I'm asking everybody. And the whole site stuff, the blunts get to burning and ashes falling, the liquor get to sliding behind the backs, the cigarette get to flicking and all that. You see the taps in the periphery, and you got to catch it. Oh, you talking about me? I'm here to let you know the original man's God. Peace. And based on that, this is how this goes in your life, knowing that you are made of all things that there is. There's nothing impossible for God if you are in tune with that frequency of yourself. And I've seen babies in studios. I call them babies. Anything 20 and under is a baby to me, like basically. So it's like I've seen the babies go, I've never heard that. With the blunt burn, I've never heard that. And then the females that's with the young males, now they're intrigued because now they're drawn to their natural desire, which is to submit to the will of Allah and be one with the one. So now I'm seeing that, and I leave them with that. I don't even have a whole hour, real quick, throw it out there. Because the attention span is getting shorter and shorter. Yeah. Now we're dealing with the devils who know that, who introduced, as the gods have said, AI, artificial intelligence, rivaling supreme intelligence. It's not really complicated to understand. They are where you are not. The devil has masterfully been a part of every facet of the upbringing of us and them. And we had, fortunately for us, those who stood in the gap as representation to say how it's supposed to go. This is what it is. However, this is how it's supposed to go. And if you do it how it's supposed to go, your life will go like this. If you continue to do it how it's not supposed to go, your life will go like that. And once you lay out the pros and cons, because that's all a person really can take, is someone telling them right from wrong. And once they have the right and wrong, they can make a decision. I see a lot of uninformation and a lot of information that's not being given. So how can they make a real formed decision if they've never been given the information? Because the root word of information is in. To get formed, you got to go in. If there's no one teaching them how to look within so they can find a way out, it will never happen. And we'll have a generation after generation after generation of talkers. Does it work for you? Is what the babies want to know. Does it work for you? How you say you got knowledge of stuff, you know 120, you don't got $5? Ever? You don't have a decent outfit, never? Your elbows are always ashy? Wow, I don't need that. I'm hanging out with Ray with the AK and we walk from the weed spot, we about to shake out. Because when I hang with him, I get forgot, I hang out with you, I got lip service. And my ears is hurt. So the reality is we got to take it to the basis, God. The babies are the best. That's what it is because they're going to inherit the earth and we physically step off. The women are out here without a guide. I see it all the time. I see it all the time. We got to get back to the basics of teaching. Teaching the truth that can set them free. That's all it is. It's not complicated. We don't got to huddle up. We down by 20. Devil's got us back. What we going to do? We don't got to do all that. We just got to go start teaching, dog. And we got to be active participants in the evolution. So I'm on purpose going amongst the civilized deadheads. gets frustrated. God knows I'm mad as a dog. These things crazy. This. However, I'm going to build with my brothers for a recharge. That's right. So I can go back into the fight. I go in my corner. My brothers throw water on my head. Tell me to duck that left. Stay sharp with that right. You know me? I know what it is. And I go back out there. Yeah, God, peace. I'm going out here giving those dead heads. I'm getting ready to go to uncivilized. I'm getting ready to go amongst these babies who have never heard of God in their life. And I'm going to keep working until I take my last breath when I make that decision. Because I'm the God. Can't nothing kill me. This is all energy. So it's mind over matter. So that's what we got to do. Whenever we feel weak, we got to recharge with our brothers and our sisters. Whenever we feel lost, we got to just go back to the foundation. Because whenever you get lost when you drive it, don't you look at your GPS? That's the 120. That's it. We're not going to act like we never get lost. Because we here to speak truth to what? So if you got to look at your GPS while driving, blocks you know. Imagine life. I keep my 120 in my book bag. In case I... yeah, that's what that is. To recharge myself. Because if there's no one left, Allah will be able to sustain himself. And I believe it like that, God. Let's take it to the basics. Peace.
Peace. Yeah. What's your name again,
Big Star King God and Allah.
Star King?
My name is Allah, yes.
I wasn't here when you used to.
That's okay, bro. That's okay.
If y'all don't mind, I'd like to go there because Stephen called with me, man. He reminded me of something. You know,
Just let
I
me do
went
it.
to Long Island in 1982, right? And myself and the guard named Waters Bond Sincere, we began a community event known as the Terrace Avenue Hempstead Awareness Day. Now, Terrace Avenue in Hempstead was a real dangerous place to live. I mean, you know, outside of drug dealing, there was a lot of murdering going on, what have you know. Now, my son was born on Terrace, was born in Hempstead. And Waters Bond Sincere, his daughter, Cleve was born in Hempstead too. We made a decision, man, you know, that we were going to do something for the children in that community because it was hell. Parents were afraid to send their children out. You know, old people there were up for grabs, you know, they were walking out there at 10 o'clock at night, they were getting robbed, this and that, you know. Now, there were brothers out there, because originally, you know, I'm from the desert, what is Boston City from the desert, you know, originally. Well, I was gravitated around in Hempstead. Now, we began this event in a place called Raleigh Park, right, with a simple thing, man. We had a grill, and we had a DJ, and, you know, where we had some games that we had the youth get involved in, man, you know. That event grew. We ran that event for 13 years straight. Right, got accommodation from the mayor's office and the powers that be in the Hempstead community, and we were associated with the EOC, the Hempstead Economic Opportunity Commission. And they, every year, man, they would like give us, man, at the end of their fiscal year, where they had all this, they would give us this, man, for their event. Because their fiscal year ended during the summer. Right now, mind you, this event, man, was funded by drug addicts. It was funded by people coming back, grateful to see it come. It grew. You know, we had politicians, brothers from the Nation of Islam, all kind of brothers. We had basketball tournament. The event grew, right? And as well as our stock, and being recognized as the gods in that community, we did other things too, man. You know, but it came to show, just like God was saying, man, that the power of one individual, man, because, you know, we always went to the day. You know what I'm saying? We always went to the day, man, and manifest, man, you're not going to do this around these babies, man. A lot of them brothers, man, young brothers, man, you know, they remember me, you know, and God, man, because they were under my wing, you know. every show improves, man. You know, I see them, man, and I see you. You have your grandchildren. Shit, how old my ass is and shit, man. You have your grandchildren. Say, oh God, I remember you. Listen, and this is the best that you can do now. You know, to shine your light, to make an impression on the community. Because, man, for some reason, man, you know, on Terrace Avenue, Hempstead, there was no drug dealing that we knew about, man, you know. And we had support, not only from the police department. There was 100 black men at Hempstead that all contributed this thing, man, and we gave it all to the children. The stores in the community, man, you know, they were supplies. You know. I remember going out to Borden Avenue in Long Island, man, Long Island City, man. They would always give us bread for the burgers and the thing. I think the company name is Pink Bread. It's right there on Borden Avenue, you know. And there were others there, man, you know, but wherever we needed it was there. It showed us the power of what we could do. And the Economic Opportunity Commission, outdoors, they had an open door policy. Hey, Divine, what's going on? Well, I need this, Ms. Johnson, or the heads, man, you know. We had that kind of reform in that community. So whatever community you're in, man, you know, no matter how bad it seems, you can have influence by just, man, being God, you know, being God. Now, they recognize the punk when they see it, man. I had situations, man, where I had to really defend young brothers, man. There were police were snatching brothers up. You gotta go to the precinct, man. You gotta let that brother go, man. We'll see you there. Y'all just can't do this, man. You know, there's so much, man, that goes on in the life of God, man. You never know, man. You know, but I always never thought that I would be, I never felt unsafe. You know what I'm saying? Because like face it, man, I drink wine too. I smoke weed too, man, but the thing about it, you know, now that I think about it, man, you know, with my transition, if I tell any of y'all, man, I got 25 years, I haven't smoked a joint or drank a bottle or had any drug in over 25 years. I do remember, man, what it took, man, for us to have the community support. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what I want to say, man. Yeah. If you God, man, there's always a way, man, to have the attracting power, to have the ability, man, to have influence in the community, to get something done for the people. Because in the long run, it's always about the people. You know? Thank you, God.
Peace.
Peace, God.
Peace to God.
Peace, man.
I'm in the name of man, God alone. And God told me that we're doing this here and this in partnership. The sister he's got a bill that said, you know, I guess we must prove to at some point that we were worthy of becoming partners with her and her allowing us to build in the land that she held sway over. So, you know, today's Supreme Mathematics is knowledge understanding, and, you know, that's all people on the culture. Well, you know, I try to keep it simple. I heard what the God was saying. I try to keep it simple. If you have knowledge and you understand the knowledge, then it won't culture, because what people see of how you live is going to be what they see of what you know. Because you can only live what you know. You can't live something you don't know. And if you haven't been studying it and going into the depth of it, you can't develop the character that is being spoken about in the culture of our God, which is Islam, myself and one master. Which means you have to have control over your behavior, the way you think, and your emotions at all times. And, you know, I'm only going to mention it once, you know, and the gods had said it earlier. Sometimes there's a little bit too much contention about us going back and forth, because, you know, not everybody's on the same level and not everybody has studied the same things. As you study, you gain more in-depth knowledge in different things. There are different levels of knowledge, and what I found in studying, I studied, I ain't say every religion, but all of them have said what we've been saying. The problem is, because it's different language and different experiences of those people, we argue over the same point that's being expressed differently kind of like 20 people looking at an accident. The police come over, they ask everybody, and everybody gives them a different angle from which they saw it. Which one is wrong? None of them is wrong. But from asking everybody, that individual gets more of the whole picture of what's actually going on. This is why it's important for us to study different sciences and religions, because they're telling the people, but it's akin to what this guy said in 1854. Sometimes I remember his name, sometimes I don't. It's a newspaper man. It's famous. I don't always remember his name. And he said, he was talking to someone who aspired to become a newspaper person, a reporter. He said, if you want to be a good reporter, the first thing you have to do is get all of the facts. But then he said, once you have all the facts, you may distort them as you please. So all the religions have gone, all those religions and priesthoods have gone dark. They still have to tell the truth, because if you're not telling the truth, there's nothing to tell. But what they've done is they've distorted it in a way that they tell it in story tales, fairy tales, and you have to understand exactly what it is that they say. It is up to us to be able to show them in all them different ways. That's not what it is. Just like when it says, in the Bible it says, no man gets to the Father except through the Son. But the Father knew that. So who did he go to? The sons. But then the sons, when we teach, we refer them back to who? The Father. So no man gets to the Father except through the Son, so you got to go in. Nowadays, I ask people, if I was to ask you which way is up, which way would you point? Where do y'all think they point? Like this. That's not up. If the Father is the Most High, and the only way to get to the Father is through the Son, then you got to point in. And that's where the truth is. So people have to be given some simple things to start understanding, because that's in the Bible. They tell them. The Old Testament, Psalms 82 verse 6, say to your gods, all you children of the Most High, you shall die like men and fall like princes, right? John's 10, I think 35 or 30, yeah, right. He says, how is it that you say, that how does it say that I blaspheme, right? When I'm sanctified and sent into the world, and you were told that y'all were gods, right? That's the Old Testament, right? And I only say I'm the Son of God. So you got a problem. You've been told you're God. And I'm only saying I'm the Son of God. You say I'm blaspheming. That's impossible.
Impossible.
Right? It's impossible, but people don't see.
No.
I was out in Medina. This was like some years ago with one of my sons. He's, young man. I'm trying to remember. I think he was like maybe Build to Destroy more than age, right? And I just bought him a basketball, and we were around. Anybody, y'all know where PS21 is, right? Over there by Greenville. Right. So he's over there, and I went to see my old wife, because she lived on Bainbridge between Reed and Patch. And so I'm sitting, and we in the park, so I held the basketball, and he went over, and there was a little boy on the seesaw. He trying to seesaw by himself, but you really can't seesaw by yourself. So my son went over, they seesawing or whatever. I'm sitting watching them. So brother came over, and he said, praise be to the Lord, brother. It's such a nice day. He said, I took the day off so I could spread the word of the Lord. So in my mind, I used to be a little bit more cocky. I had a little bit more self. So I said, in my mind, I said, you can't get the right person. Right? So he come over and he said, brother, do you know what such and such said in the book of so-and-so? I said, well, brother, I read the Bible. Those aspects that I read, I understand. I didn't memorize everything. But you tell me what he said, and I tell you what I think it means. So this is a long time ago. So this is like 30 years ago.
Okay, go ahead. Still relevant.
All right. So once he told me, I broke it down to him. He said, "Praise be to the Lord, brother. You got a wonderful way with interpreting the Bible. Okay, but you just took the mystery out, and I find I need the mystery." What did he just tell me? I can't handle that weight.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? So this is why we supposed to know, because the law is Lord of all worlds.
Yeah.
So what world is it that we not masters of? This is why I would recommend the book. What is it called? G.A. Gaskell's Dictionary of All Scriptures and Myths. Because if we study, we should be able to speak to everyone and show and prove that we God. Because who else exists in the world? See, the idea of the devil is, well, let's look at how the devil was grafted. Where was he grafted from?
The original.
Okay, so that means that this is something we did to ourselves, isn't it?
Yep.
Did somebody else do it?
No.
I'm not looking at the lesson. I'm looking at the lesson, but the lesson say that it was made from the who? Original man. That means this is what we did to ourselves. And so, as you were saying earlier, we come to the point where we grafting back out again. We look the same. We look like the original, but we're doing things that don't elevate our originality. Our ability to build like no one else, to be able to deal with our neighborhoods. Let's look at our neighborhoods now. You know, I'm out in the desert, and for a long, for a period of time, a lot of our parents, some of them had, went into the army or whatever. They came out with the GI Bill. They were able to get houses and stuff like that there. But what I'm seeing now is that a lot of them have grown old, but a lot of the children, the sons, and so forth and so on, haven't taken on the ability to gain skills to be able to rebuild the homes, okay, to refurbish them. So our neighborhoods are looking shabby now because we can't rebuild them. So other people are coming in, and in their mind they're like, yeah, what they said about them niggas is true. Niggas won't be taken care of. They ain't taking care of themselves, and now we got to come back in and rebuild their neighborhoods. Isn't that what's happening?
Yep.
Everybody notice that? You notice that, Don? We're not rebuilding them.
Nope.
You see very few of us, if any, right, dealing with the electrical, dealing with rebuilding the homes, contracting and so forth. We're not doing it. We're not even cutting grass. So we're not dealing with a lot of the trades that's necessary for us to rebuild our neighborhoods because our sons and daughters don't see us doing it. They see other people doing it. So why would you want to be like us when we can't maintain our neighborhood? So we got to be a little bit less on the talk and more on the building. They got to be able to see that, I remember, when I had the house in Cambridge Heights, I needed a new staircase. What did I do? Went and got the wood. I got a book. You go into, what is that, what's the name of that place? Huh? No,
Home Depot?
Yeah, Home Depot. You go to the Home Depot. They used to be able to go and get videos on everything that you needed, whether it was plumbing, heating, air conditioning, anything that you needed to deal with, you could go get a video and learn how to do it. So what did I do? Went and got a video, got the wood, got the tools I needed. I built my own staircase back down to the basement. And I